Hey y'all, we're going to be talking about the 13 colonies that were kind of the beginnings of what is the United States of America today. And so this is, again, Native Americans, indigenous people have been living here for tens of thousands of years. And then once there were European colonizers coming over, then more European colonizers decided to come too and set up colonies. So that's what we're going to kind of talk about today. All right, so again, the big idea is mostly we're going to talk about England because that was like most of the 13 colonies. So they set up these colonies to get American resources. So that was goal number one, right? The religion part was kind of secondary. Also, people from Africa, it says, were brought, we're going to say kidnapped and enslaved. And again, these are the early years of what the United States is today. So again, early colonies, early colonizers coming to get American resources, natural resources, right? And then, yes, some were trying to escape for religious freedom, but mostly to make money. Folks from Africa were captured and kidnapped and stolen and enslaved in the Americas. And then the colonies begin to grow, and so then we'll see them grow to what eventually becomes the USA today. So again, there was persecution, right? And that's the harm people suffer because of who they are. So the Church of England was the ruler at the time, and the people who were Puritans, it was under the umbrella of Christianity, but they felt like they were being persecuted. So they wanted to find somewhere else to live. So again, sometimes people can be persecuted because of their religion, because of their gender, because of their ethnicity, because of their race, right? There's all sorts of reasons, because of their language, people can be persecuted, right? So again, religious freedom is this idea that you want to be able to practice whatever religion that you would like to practice. Okay, so we're going to look at this timeline real quick to kind of put things in chronological order for us. So 1607 is the arrival of the colonizers at Jamestown. So that's what it ended up being named, Jamestown in Virginia. And then 1619, we start to see the first African people who were kidnapped to come over here and to be enslaved in the Americas. And at the same time, we see the House of Burgesses meet. So the Europeans that had arrived here in Virginia and Jamestown, now they're setting up their own government because they want to govern themselves. So 1620, more Europeans show up, and they're up in the Massachusetts Bay Area, and they sign the Mayflower Compact, which is their version of their government. And then in 1621, we have the whitewash story of Thanksgiving. We'll get into that a little bit more, right? So this idea that it was all peace and love, right? We'll talk more about that. And then in 1630, we have colonizers landing at Massachusetts Bay and then really bringing out the natural resources in that area of what is the United States today. So the big idea, again, if we take a look at this map real quick, so 1776 was the year of the United States independence from England. So this is kind of, again, we're looking at those 13 colonies right here. A little bit of Louisiana, what today is Louisiana and Texas. But at that point, the rest of this land in this area was native indigenous land. Like this is where the indigenous people were, right? Have been for tens of thousands of years. And as we can see, the white folks, the white majority in the United States in 1850 and then 1894 and then 2017 is all this land that has been taken from the native nations, right? So again, it's this idea that the land was not theirs to take, but the Europeans took it from the indigenous people. And then we have what is today the United States of America.